Avatar Oracle, let's do wands. I'm going to start out with the first 5 wands, but before we do, I do want to point out that the ace has a lot of leaves, which master the obvious, right? But that is the sort of the birth or the beginning of the life. So it's just bursting with life. Very important to note that. Also want to say before we start that you'll notice all the wands have leaves on them, indicating life. In other words, it's not like a dead stick that someone picked up. This is alive, breathing, still going strong type thing. And it's important to note that it's not just a stick that someone's carrying around. And so just remember that it is indicating that we have life on here. I mean, there's not something that's just dead and buried. That's not something someone picked up that's been there for a year or whatever. So anyway, just a note on that. And now that we have that covered, going low tech today, that's the way it goes. Ace of Wands. Obviously the life, the bursting of life, and this stick is larger than the other sticks in the series, so it's important to note that we do have a larger stick, so this is a big deal. This is bursting of life, so beginning of action, etc. with the ace. So looking at the castle in the background, we have sort of this, not only life, but we have a place to go home, or we have that sort of that stability. Within that castle, we have all of the achievements that we've accomplished, and we can go back to the castle. We have a home, we have some place to go. So this is something that's sort of important for that. Now the clouds represent the sort of the, not only a transition from sort of a higher power or a higher place into the current mundane plane, but we have a hand coming out, a large, huge, monstrous hand, which is obviously not normal. So just remember that we have the different aspects of this, not only new beginning, but we're coming from a higher power, and from the higher power, we're stretching out ourselves from that into sort of a giant hand or something bigger than ourselves. This is not a normal sight you would see every day, a large cloud with a hand coming out and gifting us something. So this is a higher power. It's very important to sort of denote that. In addition, also we're being given, or sort of we're giving given. In other words, it's trading places from one place, from a higher plane into the normal plane. So we're being given this by the hand, and the hand has a firm grip on it as well, which is important because it's not something where they're just throwing it from the higher plane into our current existence. This is something to where they're giving it to us. This could come with teachings, this could come with lessons, it could come with all sorts of things. And again, we have the life and all of this stuff down below with all the greenery. So with that, let's look at the trees in addition, the life and all that, all the growth and symbolism that goes along with that as well. So now we have the Two of Wands, and we have the roses here, and the roses sort of indicate the roses and the miscellaneous flowers indicate that life and that generation, or sort of the birthing of life or the beginning of life or something beautiful within what's happening here. Now you also notice that we have a city and we have a town and city and things like that. Denotes not only the life that's within all those paths and all the stuff that's going on in the background, but we have that stability because we have a city. If we need supplies, we can go down to the city. We can do all sorts of things down there. So it's important to note that we have that stability and we have everything going on from there. So we do have mountains, again symbolizing challenges. So this is not a path easily taken. This is a path that's going to be a bit rough maybe, right? So we have some challenges in the background, but again we have roads connecting everything. It's going to make it a little bit easier to get back and forth or whatever, so things like this. So the roses also indicate a balance. sort of a balance between good, bad, or, you know, the rough time of the mountains and the glorious scenery that we have in the cities and things like this. So we also have a water or an ocean or things like that. So that's going to be a bit of a transition. So the water is always a cleansing as well. So we have that cleansing of, you know, the cleansing power from the water that's going to blend in with all of this. Now he's also obviously holding a globe, and for this particular card, that's the Dominion. That's going to be the achievement or the things that he's done. So this is where he's been. These are things that he's done, and it's important to note that he's also holding it in the right hand, which is more of an imaginative type hand or an imaginative type side or creative side as well. So in the left hand, the more of the firm logical side, we have the wand. Now over here, this wand is bolted down. So the wand is sort of, you know, standing not on its own, but it's sort of bolted to where it can be stable. So we have that extra measure of stability. This is a stability that we've built. It's a stability that we already have because we did the bolting down here, and that's going to be an important stability to add to this card. Now the next card is going to be the 3, and the 3 is a very warm card. So it's important to note the very warm things that we have going through here. Not only do we have a warm sunset, but the water and the 2 is now gone, and it's now a warm type water. So that's interesting to note just how warm and sunny it is, and it's warming up the water. Now we do have the ships, which indicate a transition from, you know, sort of moving from the past into the future. So the ships are giving you transport in a place that you normally couldn't go. So ships also, again, indicate that you can get places where you normally could not go or places where you maybe could not be before. So this expands our horizons and lets us know that we have the initiative and we have the ability to do that. He's also standing on a cliff. So the cliff here and here, similar to the Fool, indicate the different possibilities that we have or a new journey that we have. So we can step off this if we want and go someplace else. Again, we can step off this and go into the water or go into the ocean, and gives us an opportunity to do things or an opportunity to have that. So the sun is also setting, which sort of indicates the end of the day. And that setting sun, again, has illuminated the water into warmth. And again, we have a very warm card and all of this other stuff. He's wearing a variety of colors as well, sort of indicating that we have a bit of a option or a bit of variety in what we're looking to do. So a variety in what we're looking to do, and this is a younger person, by the way. This is a younger person as well. Maybe this is a little bit older. Excuse me. Maybe this is a little bit older, but this is a bit of a younger person. And the younger person, again, indicates that sort of that lack of life experience, or the lack of a lot of things that you'd have for an older person like the Hermit. So it's a younger person, maybe a fresh look on things. Again, so many different types of colors in the clothing indicate a variety of options and a variety of things that he can do. So it indicates that variety and that bigger number of choices as well. So now these 2 wands are not firmly attached like they are in here, sort of indicating not quite as stable as you would want. This is not something that's going to be super stable. This is stable because we have a firm grasp on one wand and the other one is bolted, but these are just sort of stuck into the dirt, and that indicates a bit of a lack of stability. This is not going to be as stable of a card as this one over here, so just remember that. So the next card we have is going to be the 4. The 4 is obviously a home card, and You see that across the way here. And again, we have that sunset type feel and that warm type feel. So this is a much cooler card, right? It doesn't have all the warmness that we have over here. So this is going to be a bit warmer. This is going to be a bit more friendly. This is going to be a bit more inviting cards. These two are going to be a bit more inviting than, let's say, the two, just because of the warmness that you can just sort of feel through here. So now obviously we have home. This is home in a big variety of ways. Number one, we have the 4 pillars, or the 4 types of wands that are standing up, and they have a big wreath going all around, and it's sort of symbolizing this archway, right, that sort of surrounds the home and wraps it, and that gives us a security or a stability within the home that's going to be always going to be good news, and that's going to be something that that's good for everyone. Now in the background again we have another home, which is going to be the castle. So it's important to note that the castle symbolizes again the stability and the goals, but also the security, because if you look at the castle here versus the castle here, it's very close. In other words, the stability is a bit far away here. This is not something where you can just reach out, no pun intended, reach out and have that stability immediately. It's going to be a far journey to get to that stability. But right here, we have that stability, and that stability is giving us a backdrop. Obviously, we have the celebration. Everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's jovial. We have people dancing back here in the background. Again, that warm, inviting feeling is extending into all of that stuff as well. So we have a bridge here, which indicates a connection. So we have a connection not only to the castle, but to this home as well. So we have the pathway, the bridge, and again, all sorts of greenery, life, all sorts of fruit, life over here as well. And the grapes and everything else indicate that, I mean, you have a variety of fruit here indicating that it must be maybe springtime with the warmth and the springtime, and the variety of fruit gives us a variety of tastes or a variety of good news. So it's not just one thing, not like a lot of apples or something like that. We have this large variety, and that's going to give us a generosity or sort of a feast type feel that we have coming through here. So obviously this is a very positive card, and one of everyone's favorite, because that means home and the stability in the home as well. So now the last card we have today is going to be the 5. So I want you to notice one thing as far as all of these are concerned. We have a young person, or young people, and young people as well. So we're looking at youth. We're looking at that freshness, right? That we're looking at that maybe a bit of naivete, but we have that freshness. It's not like the old hermit who's just angry and looking sad. We have that a bit of maybe naivete, but also the youthfulness and all the things that come with youthfulness through all these cards. So note that we have that. And again, you have that obviously in the page and the knight, but then we start to get into an older, wiser person with the king and the queen. So let's look at the battle. First thing I want you to notice is just how easygoing everyone is in the battle. This is not a fierce battle. See, there's not like a bunch of blood or a bunch of injuries or something like that. We have a battle, sort of a casual battle, right? You can see he looks very serious. He looks kind of jovial. He doesn't look bad at all. He doesn't look too serious, and he doesn't look too serious. The only one that really looks like they're trying really hard is going to be this person here. Excuse me. So this person here is trying pretty hard. Maybe not too hard, right? But again, this looks more like a play fight. This is not something to where everyone is fighting and there's a bunch of injuries and people laying all across the ground, as you would have with later things, like in the swords maybe. Like here we have an injury in the 9, things like this. So we have someone defending themselves later. But this looks more of a casual play, especially when you look at this character. He's holding it up. He's not actually attacking anybody. So he's not defending himself. He's not trying to hit someone by holding the staff with two hands. You know, when you're going to hit someone with a staff, you're going to two-hand it, right? It's going to be a two-hand action. He's not doing that. He's holding it up with one hand. So this is more of a casual fight, or more of a casual sort of play energy type feel to it, especially with the gear that they're wearing, which is just casual type everyday gear. They're not fully decked out as you would have with the knight, for example, to where you'll have, you know, some sort of a protection, some sort of an armor. You really don't have that. So obviously we have a struggle and a battle, but it's not like really serious. It's more, again, casual and not too serious. So again, we have a variety of clothes. Everyone has their own personal style, and this sort of looks like a battle of something other than, you know, something other than pride or something like that. Just sort of a play battle or a practice battle. So when you get this card and you do have a battle, let's say you have some drama between this and that, and you do have some conflict, be aware it's not that serious. It's not that bad. This is not the end of the world type of conflict that you would have with many other cards. This is a light conflict, especially you have that blue cool feel. You have the green cool feel throughout this. It's important to note that this is not something super serious. So anyway, that is the lesson for today on Tarot and Symbology. We're starting with the wands, obviously, and in the next video we will cover all of the good stuff from the later cards as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.